Good day, everyone, and welcome to the very first session of UP Manila SILab's IOL 101 webinar series 2025. Last year, we already had the introduction to Open Health Stack with Dr. Fred Hirsch, and for today, we will have a more in-depth discussion on these open source components. And so, may I introduce our speaker to give a deep dive on the Open Health Stack. Let us all virtually welcome Sir Jing Tang. Sir Jing.
Thank you so much, Gabby, for the intro. It's really exciting to be here. Thanks everyone for having me. Our mission at OHS Open Health Stack is to help accelerate the development of next generation healthcare solutions to help developers build high quality AI-powered healthcare apps. So we have a number of components in Open Health Stack, such as the Android FHIR SDK, the FHIR Info Gateway, and FHIR Analytics. Really, they are designed to be sort of componentized, designed to be easy for you to choose what to use and create your own ecosystem using the different components, as well as playing with other sort of open source tools and solutions that's in this space. Specifically, the Android FHIR SDK is one of the things that we created at the very beginning, trying to help developers build Android apps that are secure, offline capable, and configurable. But most importantly, leveraging the healthcare standard, which is FHIR. It is written in Kotlin, and obviously it is on Android, the biggest operating system in the world. So I think especially in a lot of low and middle income country settings, Android has a very, very vast reach. So we have a few design principles that we laid out at the beginning of the work. Maybe one really important thing to call out here is the different sort of models of open sourcing libraries, and in particular, our model of working in the open source space is to have not only the source code open, but also the development process very, very open and transparent. It is FHIR native, it's offline capable. Really, it's about allowing healthcare workers with Android devices to be able to deliver care wherever they are. But obviously, that also comes with a very, very important sort of security considerations. And that means we do have to pay additional attention to making sure the data is safe and secure on device. And then finally, the last design principle is clinical workflow awareness. Right, so how does this work in your system? Right, so the Android FHIR SDK is a set of libraries, and then you, as a developer, could build applications on top of that using the SDK. Apps built on top of the SDK could also interact with the FHIR server, and this is a very important part. So the Android FHIR SDK as an SDK is not just one library. They are the structured data capture library, the FHIR engine library, the knowledge manager library, and workflow library. So these four libraries do sort of very different things. The common thing about these libraries is that they are all built on top of FHIR, leveraging FHIR resources, making sure that your app is interoperable. So in FHIR, there's a specific implementation guide called SDC, or Structured Data Capture. It basically standardizes the way of collecting patient data using the questionnaire resource and the questionnaire response resource defined in the FHIR spec. The FHIR engine library is a very, very important library in SDK. It is the library that really drives the storage and the sort of management of FHIR resources on device. The knowledge manager is a library that we created last year. It stores and manages the knowledge artifacts. Finally, the workflow library is the one that allows you to create care plans for patients. It allows you to run measure reports and generate measure reports for the data on device, and also go through the activity flow pattern defined in FHIR to carry out sort of the workflow for patient care practice. Right, so now we have arrived at this diagram. This is my favorite diagram for Android FHIR SDK. It's the architecture diagram that puts everything together. So these are the Android FHIR SDK libraries working together. And then on top of that, obviously, you still have to have your own application. You may have your app-specific UI. You, of course, will have the business logic that you need in the application. But a really, really important point here is actually the four libraries, although in this diagram they're all there, you can pick and choose, right? So there really are different patterns of putting sort of these four different libraries to use. Again, it's not, they don't have to all be in your application. You could start with one library. They all stand, but the reason that they are four different components is because they are independent. They can be used independently, but also can be used together. We actually also have developer resources, guidelines, and other tools in the Open Health Stack website and our repos. So as an example, we have the demo applications in the Android SDK repo. This is kind of the UI of the SDC library, but these are all the sort of widgets we support in the SDC library. This kind of slightly more complex operations and dynamic sort of behavior of the form is actually really, really important when it comes to improving the performance, improving the efficiency of healthcare workers. So we really do believe that having this kind of support is useful for healthcare applications that you will be building. So we also do have code labs in the sort of OHS dev site. As I say, it's an open source repo, so feel free to go and check it out on GitHub. And then finally, we have a developer forum. So that's ohs.discourse.group. So we have recently started this, but we're really hoping that this is something that would allow people to sort of discuss the issues that they may have, especially for the community to help each other.